It was a very interesting experience at the time. We spent 3 to 4 days coordinating ship movements and efforts to try to determine whether or not what we were seeing on the radar, what Senior Chief Kevin Day and others were tracking, whether or not that was actually a solid object or not. Once it was determined that it was a solid object, we sortied aircraft after it and were able to determine that it was real and that we brought back gun camera footage of it.
Mm.
So we had numerous tracks of data. So this was a real event, and these were real craft.
So just talk me through what was happening in terms of things were popping up on your radar, were they quite regularly, and understandably you were quite confused about them. What drew your attention to them apart from the fact they were there? They were moving strangely, were they?
Yes, sir. They were coming in at approximately suborbital altitudes, roughly 70 to 80,000 feet, and then immediately translating straight down to the to sea level, right above the water, nearly instantaneously. They were exhibiting other what Luis Elizondo calls the five observables: hypersonic velocity, instantaneous movement, anti-gravity, low observability, aka cloaking. All of these different things were observed by numerous vectors that day.
So, look, is there a possibility that we have technology, top secret technology, that is way ahead of quote unquote our time? Could it be that?
Many people have speculated that that's the case. Our scientific method, our quantum physics, astrophysics, means of propulsion, what we understand does not match what these craft were able to do in any way, shape, or form.
And so the logical, which sounds crazy to say, but the logical conclusion there, I suppose, is that this was something from another world.
I think that is completely a hypothesis that we have to look at. We live in a very large universe. There are a lot of possibilities. It doesn't just have to be that, but that is one that we definitely need to be
What
able
are
to
some of
put
the
on the
others
table.
then? Because look, you're obviously much more knowledgeable about this particular issue than I am. I mean, what are some of the others? If it's not advanced technology that we ourselves have created, if it's not something from another world, what could it be?
Some of the other options fall into categories like ultra terrestrials. Perhaps there's another species inhabiting the Earth with us, perhaps in the ocean, for example, that we are just bumping into, so to speak. There are other people that speculate about multi-dimensional origins or even time traveling
Yeah.
humans from the future.
Yeah, and that is. I mean, it sounds absolutely nuts to be talking about this at 11:55 in the morning on a on a Saturday. But that is an area, the time traveling element thing, that I personally am. I'm fascinated. Just quickly, because I'm very sorry I could talk to you all day, but we are going to have to go to the news shortly. But look, just quickly, do you think the public at large would be able to handle the idea of the fact that there maybe had been aliens here? If it comes up, which it won't say, but if it does come out and say aliens have been here, do you think we'd be able to deal with that?
If that were the case, yes, I do. I think that there is something about the human spirit that has reached a point where they're ready for something new. That's a personal feeling of mine, but I think that that's probably